This is me, and these are my books. That's right, today is the day I am finally going to give you a bookshelf tour. You're welcome. I have 100% been putting this video off because I feel like it's gonna be really long and hard and difficult to film, but you guys are worth it. You deserve it. You deserve this, okay? So I hope you enjoy this. If you enjoy bookshelf tours, because we are fast approaching sunset, I'm going to pretty much just give you titles and not too much descriptions because we kind of have to do this a little bit quick, but if you want me to do one more in detail, eventually I will, but in the Bookmas haze that we're currently in, it's just not possible. I'm gonna do the best I can to give you as much information as I can. Now, I have counted. The number frightened me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have a collection of books from my grandfather that are out in the living room that are like very old and pretty editions. I did not include those in this number. I think there's probably roughly 40 of them, and if you would like a tour of those at some point, please let me know because I'm happy to do that. There are a lot of like classics and, you know, the fall of the Roman Empire and Dracula and a Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court, like those kind of books, which I would love to someday read some of them. But anyway, if you would like a tour of those at some point, I will do that, but I did not include those in this number. So this number only includes my books that are either books I've read or books that are on my TBR physically. Okay, you ready for the number? It's more than I thought, but it's okay. Considering I just unhauled 150 books, this number is even more scary if you add that in. Drum roll. I currently own 813 books. I don't know whether to be like ashamed or super proud. I'm kind of annoyed that it's not quite at 1,000 because they say you have to have 1,000 books in order to be considered a library. And if I'm gonna have 800, I might as well have 1,000, you know? I don't know. I don't know whether I should be like ashamed of myself or just own it. I own a lot of books and I'm okay with that. For now, I have the space for them. They make me happy. They bring me joy. That's all you can ask for. Out of the 813, 346 of them are unread and 467 of them are read. I think that takes care of all the little admin stuff. First of all, this is my little TBR cart. The top shelf are the books that I'm currently reading or wanted to read this month and probably won't get to. And then down here, I have some books that I just hauled that I need to find places for on my shelves. And then we have my ring light. This is me and my mommy. If you go over here, this is my wall of shame and or wall of fandom. So these are just things I enjoy. My family, Dean Winchester, my friends, Dean Winchester, New Orleans, Jensen Ackles, Dean Winchester, more family, my mommy, my siblings, and Dean Winchester. Okay, we're not gonna talk about it anymore. We're not gonna talk about it anymore, but those are signatures from all of them. Okay, I'm moving on, and that's me and Jensen. Okay, I'm moving on, okay. I have a little couch here. It is too big for this space, but it also kind of works. I don't know, and it's super comfortable. It is super comfortable. A lot of times I will sit in here and read because then I get to look at all this. And that makes me very happy. This is my little desk. This is where the magic happens, guys. This is where I do all of the editing, all of the things. Little table with all of my bookmarks and these posters. These are all of the Broadway shows that I've worked on so far. I'm probably gonna have to move them to a new location because I'm about to start my 4th show. So I'm gonna need some more room, but I thought it would be fun to collect all of the shows that I have worked on. I didn't realize I would already be up to 4 at this point in my life. We have some little tchotchkes from the shows and also a book that I love that my sister got me, Men to Avoid in Art and Life. I think that covers the room. So starting over here, we have my little girl with her bubble gum. I love her very much. This was from my sister and I love it. We have my collection of Hunger Games. So we have the Ballad of Songbird and Snakes, and then we have the Hunger Games, we have Catching Fire, and we have Mockingjay. I love these editions. I can't exactly remember where I got them because it was a long time ago. I want to say Book Outlet, but I don't know for sure. Moving over here, I have my collection, my Harry Potter series. These were gifted to me by my sister, my original editions, because I did read every single one growing up as they came out because I was the correct age for that. My original editions somehow got lost at my mother's house at some point over time. time. So my sister kindly purchased me a new set, and then I have also been collecting the illustrated editions. Over here, I have a wand that was made for me by a YouTuber who I actually went and met one time, and he brought me a wand because he makes wands in like a wood shop, which I think is very cool. On the next shelf, I have a candle from my brother. I just threw Powerless and One Dark Window here the other day. I just finished those last month and I didn't know where to put them. So they're here for now, but I don't like them here. So they'll probably move. Then I have the Diviners series. So I have the Diviners, Lair of Dreams, Before the Devil Breaks You, King of Crows. I also have the Truly Devious series by Maureen Johnson. In the center, I have Ordinary Monsters and Anon Please by Demois. I'm very excited to read this, actually. Then I have Grimoire Girl. I love this cover, and I love Hilary Burton Morgan, and I had to have this book. I just had to, and I wanted to proudly display it. And then I have To Paradise by Hanya Yanagihara. Why do I have that book? I don't know. I still have not read A Little Life, and I don't know if I have it in me to try this one, but maybe, one day, maybe. Over here, I have my Lady Jane series, My Lady Jane, My Plain Jane, My Calamity Jane. I don't know why, but I couldn't bring myself to get rid of them. I also have my Scythe series. So we have Scythe, Thunderhead, and The Toll. I love that series, and I probably would definitely reread those. Then I have Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda, Leah on the Offbeat, and The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. I just have fond, nostalgic memories of them, so I'm not quite ready to part with them yet. Down here, we have our Kristen Hanna section. So I have The Nightingale, The Four Winds, and The Great Alone. These two are by far my favorite. I wasn't crazy about this, even though it's probably her most popular book, but I loved these. And I'm not a big historical fiction fan, but those definitely hit for me. The rest of these are all a mix of like literary fiction and historical fiction. They're all basically books that are sort of outside of my comfort zone. We have The Girl with the Louding Voice. We have November Road. We have Valentine. We have The Lost Apothecary. We have The Rules of Magic, Beyond the Point, Severance, Adelaide, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, The Spectacular, and This Tender Land. Now, out of all of these, I have read these three, and I have read this. The rest of them are all TBR books. On this shelf, I have a couple of my young adult thrillers that I couldn't get rid of. Little White Lies by Jennifer Lynn Marnes, The Cheerleaders, and Sadie. Then I have another historical fiction. This is Sophomores. This my mom gave me, and she enjoyed it, so I'd like to read it. Where the Crawdads Sing, I did read, and I absolutely love. Remember Me. This is for a secret TBR video, so don't look. I have a Ellen Hildebrand section. I read all of her books mainly because my mom loves her. And then Evie Dunmore, which I just got her fourth book in this series, so I'm gonna have to shift things around here to fit that in there. But we have Bringing Down the Duke, A Rogue of One's Own, and Portrait of a Scotsman. On the bottom shelf, I have a lot of sort of random books. Again, this is like my overflow shelf where I sort of throw everything that doesn't fit on my main shelf. It's kind of a mishmash, but we have The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones, The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson, A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay, and The Housemaid by Frida McFadden, Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister. I have read all of those. Then we have some TBR books. So we have The Last Mrs. Parrish, we have The Overnight Guest, Runaway, When Christmas Comes, Mr. Tender's Girl, Woman of God, a Norm Macdonald biography that I'm very excited to read, and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Like I said, this kind of makes absolutely no sense. It's mostly like thrillers, but it's sort of all over the place a little bit. Over here, I have my Cassandra Clare shelf. I don't know how long these will stay in my possession, but they just look so nice that it's very hard for me to let them go. I have read most of the City of Bones Mortal Instruments, but not all. I think I've read the first 4, I want to say. We have City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, and City of Heavenly Fire. And I think these are the only 2 I still have to read, and just the thickness is just aggressive. Then we have A Clockwork Angel, A Clockwork Prince, and A Clockwork Princess, and I have read all of these. I liked this series much better. And then on this final shelf here, I have the Selection series, as well as the Siren. This is just nostalgic for me, and I have and will continue to reread these just when I need to, like, I don't know, zone out from the world and just be happy for a minute. And then To All the Boys I Loved Before, P.S. I Still Love You, and Always and Forever, Laura Jean. I read these when I heard about the movies being made, and I'm so glad I did because I loved those movies so much. The books were okay, but I just really like the covers, and I think they're pretty, so I'm keeping them. This is the Life of Pi edition from our show that they made based on the poster of the play. So it was given to me. I have it now. Will I ever read it? Probably not. And then The Sandman by Lars Kepler. This is a book that somebody lent me, and I will eventually return it to him, but I would like to read it first. So that is that shelf. It doesn't look terrible from a distance, but when you get up close, you realize that it kind of makes no sense. But that's okay. That's okay. It's my library, guys. All right, we're moving on to this shelf. I'm very sorry for the lighting. It's wintertime, y'all. It's wintertime. I'm going to start from the bottom this time, so let's see how that goes. So on this bottom shelf, we have The Queen of Blood by Sarah Beth Durst. I really do want to read this, but I still have not gotten around to it. I think I just keep forgetting about it because she's so tiny. I never see her. Nosferatu, I've read most of this, but not all of it, but I consider it read, kind of. The Raven Boys and the Dream Thieves, I have read this, but I did it via audiobook, and I have never hated an audiobook more. So I've held on to these in hopes that I can try them physically because I think I would really like it, but the audiobook totally ruined it for me. So I still need to read this one, but I need to reread this one, and then if I like them, then maybe I'll buy the rest. Vicious, I have read, and I very much enjoyed it. I never continued, I never got vengeful, but I really enjoyed this for what it was. Same thing with A Darker Shade of Magic. I liked it. It was fine, but it just didn't intrigue me enough to keep going with the series. So that's my little V.A. Schwab moment. Over here we have 3 Dark Crowns, 1 Dark Throne, 2 Dark Reigns, and 5 Dark Fates by Kendar Blake. I have read all but the final book here. Then we have Red Queen and Glass Sword. I have read Red Queen, but I have not read Glass Sword yet. Then we have Delirium, Pandemonium, and Requiem. I have not read any of these. I don't know that I ever will, but I cannot bring myself to get rid of them. They're like a dystopian young adult. I just think they're gonna like bring back memories of a good dystopian feeling, like a Hunger Games moment. Maybe. Over here we have An Assassin's Guide to Love and Treason. I believe I got this in a book box at some point in my life. I can't remember which one. Gosh, I used to have so many book subscription boxes. I don't even remember half their names now. Was there one that was like underlined? I don't know. I don't remember where this came from, but it was definitely a subscription box. Then I have The Lantern's Ember. Then I have Reign of the Fallen, also an owl crate. I have Fox, The Sweet Black Waves, Beyond a Darkened Shore, Grim Lovelies, Queen's Assassin, also an owl crate, Night of the Witch, which I just recently acquired, Ace of Spades, and Daughter of the Burning City by Amanda Foody. I have read those. I have not read any of these. If I ever feel like a nostalgic YA moment, this is the shelf that I'm coming to. Over here, we have My Child, My Baby, my favorite book of the year, Assistant to the Villain. Next to it, we have the first 2 books of the Zodiac Academy, The Awakening and Ruthless Fates. I want to continue in the series. I don't know if I ever will continue in the series, but I believe they're all on Kindle Unlimited, so until I decide, I haven't bought any more books in the series, but I have the first 2 because I read the first 2. I also have Saba Tahir's series. I loved this series, and I still think I would love this series if I reread it. So we have An Ember in the Ashes, A Torch Against the Night, A Reaper at the Gates, and Sky Beyond the Storm. I just enjoyed these books so much, and I wish they all matched, maybe one day, but I just love them, and I'm happy I have them, and I want to reread them. I'm going to say this a lot, so just preparing you. And then we have Storm and Fury, Rage and Ruin. I have read this. I have not read this. These are by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I think they had to do with angels. I really, truly don't remember. Then I have The Winner's Curse. Nope. Then I have The Winner's Kiss, The Winner's Curse, and The Winner's... Nope. Then I have The Winner's Kiss, The Winner's Crime, and The Winner's Curse. I really enjoyed this series. It's another one that I read a while ago, and I very much want to reread because I think it just would give me like really good vibes, really good memories. I enjoyed it so much, so much. I read these before I ever read like Throne of Glass or any of those. This was like my first dive into the like fantasy young adult genre. Speaking of which, I also read The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. I did not ever continue in the series, even though I really liked this. I keep meaning to. I really do. I keep meaning to, and eventually I will. So far I have not. So this is the only one that I've read. Then I have some Sebastian de Castiel books. Nope. Then we have some Sebastian de Castell books. Spellsinger, Shadow Black, Charmcaster, and Soulbinder. So this is like the first 4 in this series. I'm not sure if there's any more. I purchased these because of a booktuber, JD Ray Reads. She cannot sing enough praises about this author and his series, so I bought them. I read the first one and I had fun, but I never continued. So again, it's like I mean to, and I'm not getting rid of them because I want to read them, but when? I don't know. Then we have The Living God, The Raven Tower, The Queen of the Tearling, and The Invasion of the Tearling, and A Touch of Darkness. These are all unread, and I want to read all of them one day, hopefully soon. I like petting them. Okay, we're done. Okay, enjoy this lovely cover while we look at these books on this shelf because it's just stunning. So we have Jennifer McMahon. These are the only ones I have, but I have read all but this one. And I've read other Jennifer McMahons, I just don't own them. So those are the ones I own. Then we have my T. Kingfisher section. So I have A House with Good Bones, What Moves the Dead, The Hollow Places, and Sword Heart. I have read these. I have not read these. I plan to very soon. Then we have my second favorite book of the entire year, Mayfly by CJ Lead. She's a stunner. We have CJ Tudor section. So I have The Drift, which I have not yet read, but then I have The Hiding Place and The Burning Girls, which I have read and I love. We have an Eric LaRocca, Everything the Darkness Eats. The Perfect Girlfriend. I don't know where this came from, but I think I want to read it. I think. Then I have the Thursday Murder Club series. I hope this is the correct order. We have the Thursday Murder Club, The Bullet That Missed, and The Man Who Died Twice. I feel like this is right because I feel like this was the newest one until the 2023 release came out. So I think this is correct, but I plan to get into these quite soon. Quite soon, I promise. Then we have Secrets Never Die. This was a random book I got at Barnes. That was $5. $5. Then we have Samantha Downing. He started it. Somehow, this is my only Samantha Downing I can find. So I feel like maybe I have other books of hers that I've lent out that I never got back. I don't know. I feel like I had more of Samantha Downing and somehow this is the only one I have left. I mean, I did get rid of Twisted Love Story this year, but other than that. I have 2 Darcy Coates. Bought these for a haunted house vlog that is still in the works. And I did start this and I was quite enjoying it. So this will happen in the new year, hopefully. Then I have The Butcher and the Wren, which if you saw my latest book haul, you will have heard me tell you that I bought this thinking it was Butcher and Blackbird because I wasn't paying attention and I was just grabbing everything I saw in sight. And now I have regrets, but I still think that I should read it just because I think it'd be funny. And maybe it's really good. Who's to say? Then I have The Family Plot. I have episode 13, another haunted house book for that series that I want to do. The Troop by Nick Cutter and Kill Creek. I have read these. And Killing Stalking Volume 1, which I also have read. Look at that. There's like the briefest ray of light just shining on her. How cute. How cute and quaint. We have Rachel Hawkins. I have The Wife Upstairs, Reckless Girls, and The Villa. I have read all of these. I have Goodnight Beautiful by Amy Malloy. I have read this and I enjoyed it. I have some Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I have read this and this. I did not love this, but I am obsessed with the cover, so it is facing out. Sue me. Don't sue me. Then I have Alex North. I have read these two. I haven't gotten to this one yet. I have my Taylor Adams section, The Last Word and No Exit. I have The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. I have A Flicker in the Dark and All the Dangerous Things by Stacey Willingham. I have The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth. The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I have The Maidens, but it is with a friend currently. Then we have Things We Do in the Dark by Jennifer Hillier. We have some Julie Clark, The Last Flight and the Lies I Tell. I have read this. I have not read this. Then we have Dark Corners and Stay Awake by Megan Golding. Again, I have Night Swim. I just don't have it in my possession. It's been lent out. I feel like I should do shadow puppets. It's such a weird video to film. Like, should I be doing a sock puppet? And then I have okay, enough. This is where things are gonna get hairy because my tripod is not very tall. So I may have to go rogue and go handheld. And if I do, I apologize. But let's try to do one last shelf with some stable moments. So, fucking me. I have The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. I also have another book by her, but it was a Fairy Loot edition, so it is with the Fairy Loot books with their sprayed edges facing out. But I haven't read this one yet, and I very much want to. Then I have The Hacienda Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas. I want to read both of these. I have When I'm Dead, which is a recent acquisition from Book of the Month. I have Just Another Missing Person, also a recent acquisition. Gone Tonight by Sarah Pekkanen, also a recent one. The Last Party, this I think I got last year, but I just never got around to it. It takes place in New Year's Eve, so I feel like there's limited time frame to read it. Sweet Little Lies, this is a very old Book of the Month book. Then I have The Cloisters, also Book of the Month, even though you can't tell because they did that thing. I have The Quiet Tenant. I'm going to be reading this very soon, very, very soon. In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead, one of my favorite thrillers of all time, so I figured it was only right to face her out, especially because the book down here that's facing out I don't love, so you gotta balance things out. I have Mr. Magic by Kirsten White. I read this year. It was good, but not great. But I haven't gotten rid of it yet. We'll see if I do. I like the cover. And then I have The Spite House by Johnny Compton. I also read this year. The rest of these are unread. We have Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll, Like a Sister by Kelly Garrett, You Are Invited, Necessary People, The Stranger Upstairs, Happiness Falls, Lone Women, and Sign Here. So all Book of the Months that I need to get around to. All right, you're coming off the tripod. It's happening. It's happening. Moving up here. Let's see if I can stay stable and not shake. Well, good news is I haven't had very much coffee today, so you're welcome. So we have The Inheritance Games, The Hawthorne Legacy, and The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, as well as The Naturals, Killer Instinct, All In, and Bad Blood, also by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I have read the first book in both of those series, and I plan to continue as soon as I can. Then I have Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Good Girl, Bad Blood, and As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. I have read the first one, and again, I plan to continue as soon as possible. Moving over here, we have Notes on an Execution, Just Like Mother, Just Like Home. I didn't realize that I did that, but that's fun and funny, and I didn't intend to do that. They just fit well together. Ha! Beneath the Stairs, Dead 11. So all of these are read. Then we have The Pallbearers Club and The Chateau. Those are unread. I have Black Sheep and Such Sharp Teeth. Those have been read. It's One of Us, Sisters of the Lost Nation, Girls and Their Horses. Those are unread. Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. The September House. The Haunting on the Hill. What Have We Done by Alex Finlay. Out There Screaming by Jordan Peele, or edited by Jordan Peele. That's a short story collection. And then Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. So I would say this shelf is like 50% read and 50% unread-ish. And then up here, where I cannot reach, we have my little sci-fi section. So we have Project Hail Mary and Dune, as well as The Fifth Season and The Obelisk Gate. I don't actually think The Fifth Season and Obelisk Gate are really sci-fi, but they felt like they fit there. So just go with it. Then I have the Illuminae trilogy. I will never get rid of these books. They were some of my first favorite books when I got back into reading. Illuminae, Gemina, and Obsidio. I have taken the dust jackets off so that they can be a little bit more blendy in, but they're just the most fun young adult sci-fi mixed media situation. That's the type of sci-fi I like, you know? Then we have our Blake Crouch section. I am missing Dark Matter because it's been lent out, but I have Recursion as well as Upgrade, and I enjoyed both of those. I have An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. I have some young adult sci-fi by Brandon Sanderson, Skyward and Starsight, which I've read. So all of those are read. And then I have a few of, but not all of, the Red Rising books by Pierce Brown. So I do have the first trilogy, of which I've read the first two, and then I do have Iron Gold, which is in the second series trilogy, so I think there's 2 books that I still need to buy that have come out since then. That's it. That's my sci-fi. Moving up here, these are like all read pretty much, and these are just books that I really enjoyed, mostly all from Book of the Month. So we have How Lucky. We have We Are the Brennans, Normal People by Sally Rooney, Little Fires Everywhere, Miracle Creek, The Vanishing Half, Darling Girl, My Dark Vanessa, Practical Magic, The Lies We Told, What Lies in the Woods, Long Bright River, The Chain by Adrienne McKinty, The Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead, Secluded Cabin Sleep 6, I have a little Ruth Ware moment. These are all of my Ruth Ware. I think I'm missing a couple, but these are the ones that I have. Then I have my Lucy Foley moment. The Paris Apartment was certainly not my favorite Lucy Foley, but it's definitely my favorite cover, so she gets to face out. Over here we have my Simone St. James area. We have my Alice Feeney moment. I have one unread book there, and that is Good Bad Girl, her newest book, so I do need to read that. The rest of these I've read, all of them. I have my favorite, and now that I've unhauled the rest of them, my only Mary Kubica. I have a couple Sarah Pinboroughs, some B.A. Paris, and then I have all of the Lisa Jewell that I can get my hands on. I have read The Family Upstairs and I Found You. I have also read Invisible Girl, None of This Is True, and The Night She Disappeared. So I still need to read The Girls in the Garden, Then She Was Gone, and The Family Remains. That's that shelf, above which is Once Upon a Time, because why not? This is actually one of my favorite things about my apartment. I live in a very old and run-down apartment, but this little nook, it's actually all window behind here, and I just have always kept books, and it's the perfect size. Like, how lucky could a girl be? We are moving on to here. So first we have This Is Where the Magic Happens. I just really wanted a neon sign, and this is the one I chose. It makes me happy. This is pretty much the only light I keep on when I'm editing because I don't know, I like it. I like glowing in pink, okay? So this shelf for the most part is like all favorite authors, favorite books that I want in the background of videos. So that's kind of how I organized it. So we have our Nevernight series by J. Kristoff, Jade City, Jade War, and Jade Legacy by Fonda Lee. Brandon Sanderson over here. So we have the Mistborn trilogy, The Final Empire, The Well of Ascension, The Hero of Ages, which I have read all of. Then I have the Stormlight Archives, The Way of Kings, Words of Radiance, and Oathbringer. I got all of these on Amazon, but I feel like I remember thinking that I was surprised to see them on there because I'm pretty sure they're like the UK editions, but I just really liked them. I thought they were much more simple than the US covers, so I like them. I like the white. It makes me happy. And they match my Throne of Glass, which is also in that edition. I have since then been very, very tempted to get the new covers of this series, but I have resisted. I don't know how. But I have Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, and Kingdom of Ash. And I have read all of them. We have the Assassin's Blade over here, which did not come in that little white edition, which drives me cuckoo bananas. The other thing that did not come in that is Tower of Dawn. So you'll notice I don't own Tower of Dawn. I read it on ebook, and it makes me sad. Then over here, I have A Court of Thorns and Roses. This is like a collector's edition that I got on Amazon. It's very pretty. I can show you. Should I show you? It has like gold foiling, and then it has like gold end papers. That's really all that's special about it, but I bought this when I hadn't read the series at all, and I figured why not get the fanciest edition of the first book? Why not? Not realizing that then it wouldn't match the rest of the books. So then of course we have A Court of Mist and Fury, A Court of Court of Wings and Ruin, A Court of Frost and Starlight, and A Court of Silver Flames. I have read all of these up until this book. So this is the one we're on right now. And if you're wondering, the remaining Sarah J. Maas books, so Crescent City, those books are out in the living room in a different shelf area. Moving over here, I have my Leigh Bardugo section. Again, I have more Leigh Bardugo out in the living room, but these are the ones that are in here. I have Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, Ruin and Rising, and then King of Scars and Rule of Wolves. This little pin that I just got from Rich Bodice, this little candle, little pink tree, another candle, the Six of Crows, and Crooked Kingdom. Those are out in the living room, displayed proudly. I have a little section for some gin, just in case, because you never know, and I have these amazing glasses that my sister got me. So this one's Jane Eyre. I don't know if you can see that. It's my favorite classic, and it's like the book cover and then like quotes. I just love it. And then the other one is Pride and Prejudice. And we have a little deer, because of course we do. Then over here I have The Poppy War, The Dragon Republic, and The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. I love this series. Can't wait to reread it. One of my all-time favorite fantasy series of all time. How many times can I say that? Over here I have my Fourth Wing Holiday Edition, my regular Fourth Wing Edition, and my Iron Flame Edition. I lucked out. I got all sprayed edges on all three. I feel selfish, but you know what? Some people have like 10 editions of this, so I'm not gonna feel bad about it. I'm just not. Now over here, these books are out of order, but that's because I'm hiding the Book of the Month one. But this is the City of Brass series. So City of Brass is actually the first book. Then we have The Empire of Gold and The Kingdom of Copper. Again, another favorite series by S.A. Chakraborty, another favorite fantasy series of all time. I just wish this one matched, but it doesn't. So it's hiding. It's hiding away. Over here, we have the Once Upon a Broken Heart series by Stephanie Garber. The other series that I have by Stephanie Garber, Caraval, is out in the living room. Once Upon a Broken Heart, The Ballad of Never After, and A Curse for True Love. I have the Barnes & Noble editions of these two, and I have the regular one of that one, which makes me mad, but don't worry about it. Just moving on. Of course, I have some stockings because Christmas. Behind the stockings, we have a little Riley Sager section. I have all of his books. 2 of them have been lent out to my cousin, so they are not here. But I have Lock Every Door, Home Before Dark, The Last Time I Lied, Final Girls, and Survive the Night. And then The House Across the Lake is at my cousin's house, and also The Only One Left, which is this year's release, is also at my cousin's house currently. Back here, hiding, is a Night Film. She's just hiding just because. This is A Christmas Carol. This was a gift from my grandfather, and he gave it to me in '97, and I just thought that was so cute. My reader granddaughter. So even in '97, he knew I was going to be a reader. I hope you enjoy for many years as I have. So sweet, and it smells like the best old book ever. I try to protect it by only putting it out at Christmas time, but it makes me happy and nostalgic. Over here, I have Bunny and Rouge by Mona Awad. I have read both of those. I have some of my Grady Hendrix here, the paperback ones at least. I have My Best Friend's Exorcism, We Sold Our Souls, and Horror Store. The other Grady Hendrix that are all in hardback are out in the living room. I have Mary, and then Nestlings is currently on my TBR cart, but that normally goes here too. If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. This is one of my all-time favorite books. Slewfoot, The Last House on Needless Street, probably at the very top of the list of my all-time favorite books. And she's displayed proudly, front and center. This is like a Stephen King bind-up, and it contains The Shining, Carrie, and Salem's Lot. All 3 of them are in here. I regret it. Even though it's pretty, I like it, but I regret it because it's very hard to read because it's so big. Then not a bind-up, just a regular book that's also the same size. This is Sleeping Beauties by Stephen King, as well as his son Owen King, and I have not read this yet, but I will one day. Believe it or not, I got this from Book of the Month. So once upon a time, Stephen King was available on Book of the Month, if you can believe it. I have The Institute by Stephen King. This is one of my favorite, at least out of his recent work. I have Fairy Tale, which I haven't read yet. Back here is Pet Sematary, as well as The Outsiders, and then Later by Stephen King. Over here we have a little S.A. Cosby moment and a little Ashley Audrain moment. So these are, again, favorite authors that I have read most of. I still have to read The Whispers, but the rest of them are read, and they're just favorite authors, so they belong here. They belong here. Down here is my little Christina Lauren stack. So we have The Unhoneymooners, Love in Other Words, Dating You, Hating You, Twice in a Blue Moon, The Honey Don't List, My Favorite Half Night Stand, Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating, The Soulmate Equation, The True Love Experiment, and Something Wild. I think I own every book by them, which is a fun thing to discover late in life. I have another little pink tree because I just have zero chill. Over here we have Well Matched, Well Played, and Well Met. This is the first one, but it is Book of the Month, so it matches these, so it's over here. But these belong with it too, and I think there's another one that I haven't read yet, but I have read all of these. Then we have some Aaron Sterling. So we have The X-Hex and The Kiss Curse. I have read both of them. We have Helen Huang, The Kiss Quotient, The Bride Test, and The Heart Principle. I have read them. I have loved them. They're all here. Then the brightest section of my shelf, my little Emily Henry moment. I have Beach Read, People We Meet on Vacation, Book Lovers, and Happy Place. I have also read all of these. Next we have my Allie Hazelwood. So we have Love on the Brain, The Love Hypothesis, Love Theoretically, and Check and Mate. Again, I've read all of them. Again, I love all of them. Next to that, we have Catherine Center. So I have The Bodyguard, Hello Stranger, How to Walk Away, and Things You Save in a Fire. This one I haven't read yet, but the rest of them I have. Then we have a little Talia Hibbert section. So I have Get a Life, Chloe Brown, Take a Hint, Danny Brown, and Act Your Age, Eve Brown. And then hidden back here is her young adult book, Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute. Finally on this shelf, we have our Tessa Bailey moment. So we have It Happened One Summer and Hook, Line, and Sinker, which are my favorites. Fix Her Up, Tools of Engagement, Love Her or Lose Her, which are also favorites. Too Hot to Handle, My Killer Vacation, which is also a favorite. And then Secretly Yours and Unfortunately Yours, which unfortunately were not so much a favorite. But I, again, think that this is a favorite romance author, and I like collecting her books. Down to the bottom shelf, we have this sign, which I love this sign. So this sign was actually hanging in the lobby of my theater during the show Take Me Out, because it included full nudity of Jesse Williams and about 7 other men doing a shower scene. So this was hanging right in our lobby, and when theater operations went and took it down, I was like, can I have that? And it just makes me so happy to have it on my shelves. I always try to put it near some romance books because I think it makes me giggle. It just makes me giggle. But behind that, I have Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. I also have her other book on my TBR cart right now. I have some Samantha Young, so we have Much Ado About You, Fight or Flight, and A Cosmic Kind of Love. This one I haven't read yet. Then we have How to Fake It in Hollywood. I loved this. I read this recently, I think this year. Maybe it was last year. Either way, I really, really enjoyed it, and I want to read more by this author. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I also have As Seen on TV by Meredith Shore. This was fun. I have The Wedding Crasher by Mia Sosa, also fun. That could not be darker, and I am sorry. Then I have Indigo Ridge and Juniper Hill. I have read both of those. They were not super memorable, but I still have them. This is like so dark. I am very sorry. Then we have some Sophie Kinsella. So I've got your number hidden back here, and then I have I Owe You one, and then this one is Remember Me. It's literally so old that the entire spine wore off in the sun, which is crazy, but that's what that is. Then we have Carly Fortune, Every Summer After, Meet Me at the Lake. I have not read these yet, nor have I read the Sophie Kinsellas. I have The Charm Offensive, which I haven't read yet. The Simple Wild, which I haven't read yet. Just Haven't Met You Yet, which I haven't read yet. It Ends With Us, which I haven't read yet. The Long Game, which I haven't read yet. Astor Parker Doesn't Fail, which I haven't read yet. I do have Delilah Green. It is at my sister's house. Something Fabulous, which I haven't read yet. You Again, which I haven't read yet. Fractured Sky, which I haven't read yet. Archer's Voice, Birds of California, Ruby Spencer's Whiskey Year, and American Royalty, all of which I haven't read yet. Then I have The Reunion, romantic comedy, Georgie All Along, The Rewind, Love and Other Disasters, and Dating Dr. Dill, all of which I have not read yet. So this is kind of my TBR for romance books, more or less. Then finally over here, I have The Two Lives of Lydia Bird hiding back here by Josie Silver. I have Anna Kay by Jenny Lee, and I have This Time Next Year by Sophie Cousins. And then over here we have Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigmund Broca. So I have their 2 adult books as well as 3 of their young adult books because I just love these spines and have not been able to bring myself to get rid of them yet. And then there's Jack. Say hi, Jack. Okay, cool. All right, we are on the final shelf. Woohoo! So this shelf is kind of like a holiday romance shelf, more or less. So we have Christmas books as well as some witchy books. We have You're a Mean One, Matthew Prince. We have The Tourist Attraction, Enjoy the View, and Mistletoe and Mr. Right. These aren't technically Christmas, but I just want them all together, so that's where they're going, okay? Then we have Nick and Noelle's Christmas playlist, and there's something about Mary from Cody Hall. I do have the 3rd book. It is one of these. Then I have A Season for Second Chances and 8 Perfect Hours. And then this is the remaining books that I have not gotten to yet for my Christmas romance reading vlog, which, will I get to them? Considering it's the 18th right now? Who's to say? Moving over here, I have Holiday Romance and Snowed In for Christmas, A Winter in New York, Duke Actually, So This Is Christmas, Single and Ready to Jingle, We Met in December, Always in December, and then there's a couple other ones that I have lent out to my mom and my sister for Christmas. So I think my mom has In a Holidays, and she also has One Day in December, or We Met in December, something like that, by Josie Silver. On this side, I have some witchy Halloweeny books. We have My Roommate is a Vampire, Witch You Gonna Do, Witch's Guide to Fake Dating, Small Town Big Magic and Big Little Spells, Go Hex Yourself, and What the Hex, The Only Purple House in Town, and Happily Haunted Afters. I still have to get to these 3 and this one, but the rest of them I've read, so that's exciting. But the rest I will save for next Halloween. Next shelf, I have my Magnolia Parks and Daisy Hates books right here. Magnolia Parks, Daisy Hates, Magnolia Parks The Long Way Home, and Daisy Hates The Great Undoing. Then we have Dream On by Angie Hockman, which I really enjoyed. The Royals Next Door, which I also really enjoyed. The Romantic Agenda, which was phenomenal and the best asexual relationship I've ever read about. The 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston, as well as The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. Sarah Hogle, Just Like Magic, You Deserve Each Other, and Twice Shy. This one's more Christmas, but whatever, it goes up here. Then we have a little Sally Thorne section, so The Hating Game, which is still one of my favorite rom-coms. 99% Mine, Second First Impressions, and Angelica Frankenstein Makes Her Match, which were not so much my favorites, although I think I remember liking this one. I wanted to keep them all, okay? Just let me. Just let me. Then we have Olivia Dade. So we have, spoiler alert, All the Feels and Shipwrecked. I absolutely adored this series. Features a plus-size main character and some fan fiction. It's just a good time. We have our Sarah Adams, When in Rome and Practice Makes Perfect. We have Done and Dusted. I have some Abby Jimenez here, although I have two that aren't here, and they're my two favorites. But some of my Abby Jimenez is here. The rest of them have been given to other people to read. And then finally on this shelf, we have the Bromance Book Club, Crazy Stupid Bromance, Undercover Bromance, Isn't It Romantic, and A Very Merry Bromance. Again, love this series, love this author. I want to know if there's going to be more or if she's going to do something new. Does anyone know? Very curious. Up here we have more like Kindle Unlimited / indie published, at least originally, books. All of these are new to my shelves this year, and all of these authors are new to me this year, and I have just been having the best time with them. So over here I have the Chestnut Springs series. I have lent out the first two, but I have Reckless, Powerless, and Hopeless over here, and also her other series, the Gold Rush Ranch series, Off to the Races, A Photo Finish, The Front Runner, and A False Start, all by Elsie Silver, my new favorite romance author. A close second, Lucy Score. We have Things We Never Got Over, Things We Hide from the Light, Things We Left Behind. I have read all of those and loved all of them. Then we have Rock Bottom Girl, which I've also read, but these two, Forever Never and Pretend You're Mine by Lucy Score, are still on the TBR, so that's exciting. I have more Lucy Score to look forward to. Over here I have Lauren Asher, The Fine Print, Terms and Conditions, and Final Offer. I have read that entire series, and then that is her newest book, Love Redesigned, which I can't wait to read. I have 3 of the Addicted series books. I haven't picked up all of them yet because I haven't read any of them yet, but I have the first 3 for when I get to them. And then I have the Brutal Birthright series by Sophie Lark. I have read the first 3. I have to read the next 3. So far so good. Having a good time with those. Up here I have some Carrie Maniscalco. I have Stalking Jack the Ripper, Hunting Prince Dracula, Escaping from Houdini, and Capturing the Devil. I have read all of those and I loved all of them. They are on this shelf because they fit on this shelf, so just go with it. Even though they don't necessarily fit genre-wise, they fit height-wise. So next to that, I have Vicious Bonds by Shanora Williams, which I haven't read yet. I have some Carissa Broadbent, The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. Then I have Daughter of No World, which I have read. And then I have The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie, Malice, Valor, and Wrath by John Gwynne. I have The Name of the Wind. Ask me why it's pointing out, considering I haven't read it yet. Just because I want to be that girl. So I'm pretending I'm that girl until I read it. I'm pretending this is like a favorite book, okay? Then I have The Bone Shard Daughter and The Bone Shard Emperor, the first 2 books in that series by Andrea Stewart, and finally Anastasia by Sophie Lark. Those are all unread. Okay, on this shelf, this is probably the prettiest shelf just because it features all special editions. I don't know how long it's going to remain this way because I'm a little bit scared that these end pages might fade if I have them facing out toward the sun, but we'll see. For now, I really like looking at them, so they're going to face out. First, we have Legendborn and Bloodmarked by Tracy Dion. I've read them. I love them. They're favorites. They're right there. I have The Woman's War by Jenna Glass and The Foxglove King by Hannah Witten. I have not read these. This is a fairy loot, but unfortunately, they're crooked. Next up, we have The Hurricane Wars by Thea Guanzon, and I love this edition. I think it's so pretty. I have Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett, which I very much enjoy. The Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune, which I have not yet gotten to. I also have Forged by Blood, which I have not yet gotten to, but like stunning. Same with this one. This is The Son of Blood and Ruin. I have not gotten to yet. Immortal Longing by Chloe Gong, which I have not yet gotten to. This one I've read, The Last Tale of the Flower Bride. Another one I've gotten to, Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. So that's exciting. Then we have Shanghai Immortal, Poster Girl by Veronica Roth, The Curse of Saints by Kate Dramis. So a lot of these are unread. I would love to do maybe a dedicated reading vlog to them eventually. I keep meaning to do it. I just have been putting it off, but I really need to start getting to some of these because otherwise they're just gonna sit here and look pretty, and that's fine, but like I need to also read them, right? And then I do have some other Fairy Loot editions that are out in the living room as well, but these are the ones that are in here. Over here I have some Bridget Kemmerer, so I have A Curse So Dark and Lonely, A Heart So Fierce and Broken, and A Vow So Bold and Deadly. I loved this series. I did pick up Forging Silver and Stars, which is like a spin-off series, I believe, set in the same world, but I haven't gotten around to it yet, and I keep forgetting that I own it. Like I keep forgetting it's here. I need to read that soon. This book does not belong here. It does not go with the theme, but it's here, okay? This is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. I don't know why it's here, but it's here, and just ignore me. Up here, we have Swordcatcher, both the Barnes & Noble edition and the Fairy Loot edition, because I didn't know this was coming, so now I have both. We'll see how long I keep them, but I am obsessed with these end papers, so I'm gonna have to keep this one, if anything, but we'll see. Somehow this one looks thicker to me, too. Is that just me? I don't know. I have the Gilded Wolves, the Silvered Serpents, the Bronze Beasts. Love this series, still haven't finished it. Need to finish it. Then I have some Carrie Maniscalco over here. So I have Throne of the Fallen facing out. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, and I still need to read it. Then over here is the series that came first. So we have Kingdom of the Wicked, Kingdom of the Cursed, and Kingdom of the Feared. This one I still need to read, but I love this series. Over here, all of these pretty much are TBR books. We have Incendiary. I don't remember where I got this. I want to say a book box, but I don't know. We have Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. I can't read this until I finish the Kiss Deception series. Then I have The Diabolic, The Empress. I have The Stardust Thief and The Fate of the Fallen. I have A Million Junes by Emily Henry and The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh, which this one I have read. And the final shelf. Can you believe? Up here we have Seanan McGuire's Every Heart a Doorway series. I have not all of the books. I think I'm missing 2 of them. But we have Every Heart a Doorway, Down Among the Sticks and Bones, Beneath the Sugar Sky, In an Absent Dream, Come Tumbling Down, Across the Green Grass Fields, and Where the Drowned Girls Go. And one day, I will do a vlog reading this whole series. One day. Over here, I have some Olivia Blake. I have One for My Enemy and Masters of Death. I don't know whether I'm going to keep Masters of Death because I didn't enjoy it, but I love the cover and the idea of it, and I just haven't gotten rid of it yet. Next to that, I have Serpent and Dove, Blood and Honey, and Gods and Monsters by Shelby Mahern. I love this series. I still haven't read the final book, but I love this series, and one day I'll get to it. Next to that, I have The Damned by Renee Ahdieh. This belongs with The Beautiful, but it's a different size, so it's up here. Just ignore me. And then finally, I have Cruel Prince, Wicked King, and Queen of Nothing, as well as the spin-off series, first book, Stolen Air by Holly Black. I still have to read Stolen Air. And that's it. That is my bookshelf tour. Those are all of the books that are on my bookshelves in my library. As I said, I do have books out in the living room. I have my grandfather's collection, as well as the tiny little floating shelves that I added during my bookshelf organization video. So if you wanted to check out that video, you can see what books are out there. But this is everything that's in here. And I hope you enjoyed this. I've never done this before, so I don't know if this went well. I know the lighting is not the best. What are you gonna do? Maybe next time I'll film this in the summer and then I'll be sweating, but at least it'll be bright. If you made it to the end of this video, leave me a little skull emoji to represent Jack, who is still hiding down there. Okay, thank you, I love you. I'll see you again in another video very soon. Hopefully. Bye.